Well, hello, it's Andrew again, and today we're on episode 54, and we're continuing in our studies of Matthew, and today we're looking at another parable. It's another little one. We find it in Matthew 13, verses 44 and 45 and 46. It's, I think, often referred to as the parable of the pearl of great value. I'm going to call it the parable of the merchant. And so we pick the text up at Matthew 13 and verse 45. Again, says Jesus, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls. On finding one pearl of great value, he went and sold all that he had and bought it. Yesterday we considered the treasure in the field as the symbol of the kingdom of heaven. In that parable, it is the treasure that is central. It's almost a sense that the treasure is seeking out the wanderer. The treasure is waiting to be found, is longing to be found by the wanderer. It's almost as if the treasure has beckoned the wanderer to come and find it. Today we consider a merchant as an image of the kingdom. It is the merchant, in this case, an expert in pearls, who is central to the parable. It becomes clear that this man's life has come to revolve around pearls. They are central of his focus, the centre of his focus, that which he seems to have given his life to. There is a yearning in his heart. His life is committed to this pursuit. Now, it struck me that there are two ways of seeing this parable. It's an analogy. First is the kingdom of heaven is seeking us, because this is what the merchant is doing. So it's what the merchant is doing. The merchant is portraying as a picture of the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is seeking us as pearls of great value, you and me, each as pearls of great value. No matter how we might feel about ourselves, no matter how unworthy, how flawed, or how defective we might imagine ourselves to be, the kingdom of heaven hunts us each down and demonstrates the fullness of the price it is prepared to pay to secure us. In fact, this is exactly what the gospel says as we read it in what has become one of the most precious Bible passages to me. In Romans chapter 5 verses 6 and 8, Paul says this, you see, at just the right time, when we were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous person, though for a good person someone might possibly dare to die. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. It's not when we were all scrubbed up. It's not when we were perfect. It's not when we had all our ducks in a row and when we had got our act completely sorted out. It's not when we put on a perfect performance that Christ pours his love for us. It's when we're in the depths. It's when we're in the darkest and deepest place. It's when we're busy in the muck that we see God demonstrating his love for us in Christ. And putting ultimate value on us, each of us, a pearl of great value. This is a demonstration of the lengths that the King of Heaven is prepared to go to secure us, to secure you, to secure me. We are each the pearl, that one pearl of great value. Now, the second and more obvious way of reading this passage is to place the focus on the pearl, to portray the pearl of great value as the kingdom of heaven. And I think that's how most of us actually read the parable. So the merchant is searching for his heart's desire. His heart yearns, longs for more than he has or has seen. Then one day he discovers it. It is the kingdom of heaven. As he hears Jesus, as Jesus unpacks what the kingdom of heaven looks like, its invitation, its values, and what it offers, his heart is set aflame. He knows that this is what he's been searching for his whole life. This is where he belongs. This is his true home. This is where he can be fully himself, grow into the fullness of all that God intends him to be and to become, where his destiny will be fully expressed, where he knows himself to be loved and accepted just as he is. This is also the place of pure joy. He recognizes this, where peace that passes understanding, is a normal everyday occurrence. This is where serenity, that which the human heart most yearns for, most longs for, most desires, that sense of deep okayness, is fully and richly experienced on an ongoing basis. And wouldn't he give his all for this? He does. Yet so many don't. We read the story of the rich young ruler who is made this offer, this kingdom of God kind of life, and he turns away. The price is too high. He's invited to let go of his wealth, his status, his power, and he cannot. All he has to do is give it away and get up and follow Jesus, a free man. He ultimately becomes an unnamed footnote in New Testament history. And for what? A fleeting sense of value conferred on him by what he owns. Fleeting because it soon will pass. I don't know if you've noticed how quickly life has gone. For me, it goes very fast. And once it's gone, you can't get it back. And the reality is, with all that he has, he cannot take it with him. And it has him. He is prisoner to it. It's not that he has it, it has him. It keeps him bound. Jesus offers him freedom. All he has to do is walk away. He cannot. He will not. It reminds me on the opposite side of Jim Elliot, a missionary to South American Indians in 1956, who, before he set out to reach them with the gospel, was killed that day in a cross-cultural encounter. And he wrote these words in his diary: "He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose." Let me repeat that. He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. The merchant in our story of this pearl of great value understood this. He was seeking this pearl of great value, and it points us in the same direction. He's willing to give everything for this pearl. He knows that this exchange is well worth the price. It cost him everything. But he sees that he ultimately has nothing to lose and everything to gain. God bless you.